I'm going to show how to obtain a neat IR spectrum of a liquid product, and for this video I'll be using isopentyl acetate, which is the product from the Fisher Esterification Lab. You'll want to carefully remove your salt plates from the WMSC bottle, and then to transfer the product over to the salt plates, you'll want to use an open capillary tube, simply dipping it into the liquid, which will draw some of the product up into the capillary tube. Then, as you gently tap the end of the tube onto one of the salt plates, a few droplets of the product will be deposited. As you place the salt plates together, the product will be suspended in between them, creating a thin film sample, which can now be analyzed in the spectrometer. I'm going to show how to set up the program from scratch in case you ever need to. Usually it's already open for the labs, but just in case, if it's not, you'll want to open the Omnic program, which is the spectroscopy software that we use. The program looks like this, and if you're just opening it or if the background has expired, the first thing you should do is collect a new background. To run a background, no sample should be placed into the spectrometer, and the chamber should be empty except for the disc holder, which should remain inside. And the lid should always be closed when collecting the spectrum. Then back on the program, you can go up to the top left corner and click on the Collect Background icon. Then this box will show up and you can click OK. In the bottom left corner, you should see that it's collecting data. And once it's done, you'll be able to see the spectrum of the background, which is all of the molecules or compounds in the air that we don't want contaminating the spectrum of the product. Now you can click on Yes, Add to Window, and then click on the Clear icon, which will clear the background spectrum, so now you can collect one for your product. To do that, you'll now want to add your salt plates with the product onto the disc holder, and then place the disc holder back into the chamber at the spot designated by those little arrows. Then you can close the lid, and back on the program, you'll want to click on the Collect Sample icon. This little box will pop up where you can write your name and the name of the compound you're analyzing so that you know which spectrum is yours once it's printed. Then you can press OK and OK again, and the icon should come up that is collecting data now. Once that's complete, you'll have the spectrum of your product. Now, you want to be able to analyze the peaks well, and to do that, you need the specific wave numbers for each peak. So, if you go over to the Find Peaks icon and click on that, you'll see this line show up, which you can move around just by clicking somewhere on the spectrum, but you want to click high enough to include all the pertinent peaks for the product. And that way, you'll have all of the wave numbers for the peaks that you want to analyze. Before printing the spectrum though, you'll need to go to the right and click on Replace, which will convert it back to the original screen now with the wave numbers attached to the peaks. Then you can go ahead and print your spectrum, checking to make sure that the number of copies is only 1, because sometimes this gets changed, but we don't want to be printing 10 spectra for each student. And as you print it, make sure that you check at the printer that the spectrum is actually yours, because there are 2 computers that go to the same printer. Once you do have yours though, go ahead and click on the Clear icon so that you can clear your spectrum and allow the next student to run theirs. Then you can take your salt plates out of the spectrometer, and to clean them you can use acetone, which will remove organic product without dissolving the salt plates like water would. You can rinse your salt plates off into this big Erlenmeyer flask with a funnel on top by separating the salt plates and rinsing both sides with just a little bit of the acetone. You'll do the same thing for the other salt plate and dry them off using a Kim wipe. Then place them both back into the WMSC bottle, wrapping them in another Kim wipe. Now, let's say that the printer isn't working, so you couldn't print your spectrum out on the day that you analyzed it. What you can do is save it onto the computer so that you can print it on another day. So you can go up to File and then Save As. Then if you click down, you can go to Computer and click on the hard disk drive. Then you'll want to go to My Documents and Chem353IR, where there will be a list of the different sections. Find yours, open that one up, and then save your spectrum with your name and the name of the product. That way, when you come back on another day, you can open up the folder, go to computer again, open up the hard drive, and then you can just follow the same steps. Go to My Documents, open up Chem353IR, and go to your section, and then you'll be able to open up your spectrum. Now you can print it and analyze the peaks so that you can submit it along with the rest of your lab write-up.